Jannik Sinner faces new setback after WADA ban. The tennis world has taken a massive hit after the ban of world #1 Jannik Sinner. The Italian was disqualified for doping offences. Having twice tested positive for Clostebol, a performance-enhancing substance, the 23-year-old Italian, who just won the Australian Open 3 weeks ago, has been given a 3-month suspension. His suspension, from February 9 to May 4, 2025, will see him miss important ATP 1000 tournaments such as Indian Wells and Miami. Compounding the problems, Sinner is under constraints regarding his training schedule. Under suspension, he is prohibited from using facilities linked with any national tennis federation. Although there were rumors about him training at Monte Carlo Country Club after his suspension, the tournament has started to deny these statements. The Monte Carlo Country Club is affiliated to both tennis federations, French and Monégasque. It is a private club, but that does not exempt it from its obligations, in particular that of affiliation, Monégasque because it is the tennis club of the Principality, and French because it is located on French territory in Roquebrune-Cap-Martin. Monte Carlo Country Club statement reported by Eurosport: Jannik Sinner's suspension keeps him from practicing at authorized sites with accredited experts, therefore, his comeback arrangements are in doubt. Some reports living in Monaco will let him use the Monte Carlo Country Club, a private club. He was reportedly in line to train there for the next month without breaking WADA limits. The site will become a federal building in April when the Monte Carlo Masters is held, therefore, he will be temporarily cut off access until his training restriction allows it in mid-April. Although there were early rumors Sinner could train in Dubai, Monte Carlo's announcement could change plans. Once the ban allows, he should concentrate on physical conditioning in the gym before he can ultimately return to court practice with his coaching staff. Following an independent tribunal review, the International Tennis Integrity Agency, ITIA, first got a no-fault ruling for Jannik Sinner, creating anger among tennis players. Though some approved of the ruling, others complained about the perceived leniency. Unhappy with the result, WADA appealed for a more severe 2-year ban. Negotiations resulted in a compromise, so the Italians agreed on a lowered 3-month suspension instead of a lengthy court fight. Critics contend that his suspension comes conveniently timed as it guarantees his return right before the French Open and the Rome Masters. Some have criticized professional tennis's anti-doping enforcement integrity and accused the governing bodies of preferential treatment. Jannik Sinner is organizing his comeback, nonetheless. His suspension will end on May 4. Therefore, he can return to the ATP Tour at the Italian Open on May 7 to play in front of a home crowd. He couldn't play at the Rome Masters last year due to a hip injury. Also verified is his play at Roland Garros later in May, indicating his return to Grand Slam competition. The young Italian player will spend the last few weeks of suspension improving his game and recovering from match condition. Although missing important hardcourt events such as Indian Wells and Miami is a significant setback, the short suspension saves him from a more serious year-long suspension that could have thrown his season off track. The Italian was supposed to be the defending champion at Miami this year, beating Grigor Dimitrov in the final. Jannik Sinner's doping suspension is rocking the tennis scene and causing questions about equality and the uniformity of anti-doping policies. Although he is having difficulties in the short term, his strategic training program and fortunate suspension timing put him on a brilliant recovery. Whether he can keep his supremacy when he returns is still to be seen, but Rome will be an ideal opportunity for a resurgence.